Hey YouTube, Collecting America's Pastime here. Second video of the day, also second response video for another contest. This one's for Blu Ink. Lee, he's got a great channel. I'll link his channel in the description below. But he's got phenomenal stuff, great content. Really a pleasure to watch, and he hit 100 subscribers. So congratulations on that milestone. And his contest is to act like a baseball writer and select your 2019 Hall of Fame ballot. We're approaching the time for that to become quite relevant, and it's kind of scary how quick time's going by, but it feels like just yesterday Tommy was getting inducted, and I was sitting at home watching the announcement that he'd be in the Hall of Fame, and then just a few months ago going to Cooperstown to see him get inducted. So time is definitely flying by. Tons of guys on the ballot that could get in. I have 9 guys that I think should get in, and that's my ballot. Edgar Martinez is number 1. So we'll start off with him here. I need to get his rookie card, but right now I have 92 score. I just picked a random card I have of his. Edgar Martinez, 18 years in the league, 312 batting average. To me, 300 or more for a career, especially of 18 years, you're one of the better hitters in the game for your era. And he was so close last year, 70.4% of the votes. So I think he'll get in. I know he played a lot of DH. It's part of the game now. Can't penalize a guy for that. So, again, 312, favorite hitter, and I think he belongs. So, Edgar Martinez is number 1. Now, that's not my top guy in the class, but just who I selected first, just because he was so close last year. Roger Clemens is number 2. When you talk about eras, you have the steroid era. And I don't think as many people cheated as we think, but there were cheaters in the game. This guy was facing some of the best cheaters of all time: Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, etc. I mean, just some the 90s were just full of some power players. Late 80s, early 90s, or throughout the 90s, even into the 2000s. I mean, he had a long career. And he was the best pitcher of his time, bar none. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers of all time. 7-time Cy Young winner, MVP as a pitcher. You don't see that very often. 4,672 strikeouts. I don't know. I mean, he's so high up on that list. Second on the list, something like that, maybe first. And then 354 wins. You'll never see that again. You might not see 300 wins again, except for maybe CC. But anybody whose rookie year is recent, no way you'll see that again with the way the game's going. So one of the best pitchers of all time, and yeah, he cheated, but so did some of his era, and he was still one of the best. So I'm going to include him in there, and I also. You're going to put him in at some point. Just put him in now, and let's just call it a day. Speaking of cheaters, here is Barry Bonds, his rookie card. By the way, that is not Clemens' rookie card. He has 84 update Fleer, which I need to get, but this is Barry Bonds' rookie card. I mean, a lot of people claim he's the best player they've ever seen. People who've been watching since the 80s. I don't know. I can't attest to it as much just because I'm in Ohio. I never really got to see him play except for in the playoffs, and I don't know. I mean, he was good. He's 7-time MVP. I don't consider him to be the all-time home run leader. I know he's hit the most home runs, but I still honor Hank Aaron as the all-time home run hitter. I know that's kind of contradicting what I just said about Clemens, but I don't know. I'm not a huge Bonds fan, but to me, when you get walked with the bases loaded because you are such a feared hitter, that makes you one of the best, especially of your time. So I'm going to put him in. Again, they're going to get in at some point. Just put him in now. And that includes Pete Rose. I think Pete Rose, him not being in the Hall of Fame, is highway robbery. Number 4, Curt Schilling. 3,116 strikeouts. Phenomenal pitcher. I don't think he ever won the Cy Young, but when you consider his competition for that, he was runner-up a couple times to like Randy Johnson, and he was I believe multi-time 20-plus game winner. So one of the best pitchers. Think what you want about him off the field. I've never had an issue with him off the field. I know some do. I don't know. To me, he's one of the best on the field, so put him in. And that is his rookie card, by the way. A couple of those. Number 5, we have Omar Vizquel. Omar he amassed 2,872 hits, and he was an 11-time Gold Glove winner. You can say all you want about the hits being, he played a long career. I forget how many years, but it was like 20-some years. You can say whatever you want about that. The guy was one of the best fielders, if not the best fielder, in the game, let alone his position, for the majority of his career. Defense is part of the game. You can't ignore that. And, he's one of the best. So, and he's so close. He's less than 150 hits away from 3,000. So he almost hit that magical number as well. You gotta love Omar. To me, he goes in to join Tomey and some of the other Indians greats. Number 6, Larry Walker. This is his rookie card from 1990 Upper Deck. A lot of people penalize him for playing a good portion of his career in Colorado. To me, he was an MVP. I believe his MVP season came in Colorado. I could be wrong about that, so correct me if I'm wrong. But and he hit .313 lifetime. So he hit for average, which when you think of Colorado, you think of thin air. Really, you should hit for home runs if you're going to exploit the altitude, or the advantage of playing in Colorado. But he hit for average. Again, when you hit over 300, to me, you are one of the best hitters, especially for the length of time he played. And he was MVP, so if you consider him an MVP of the league, especially when he played in Colorado, again, I believe at the time, you can't discount that. If he's good enough to be MVP and playing in Colorado doesn't matter for that, it should not matter for the Hall of Fame. He was one of the best hitters. Unfortunately, his career was largely derailed from injuries, and he still put up monster numbers. So, I don't know. The other aspect is if you're going to put guys like Kirby Puckett in, who had shortened careers, his was so unfortunate, Kirby Puckett's, but his career was shortened. So if you're going to do that based on projection, let's base his on projection. Look at the numbers he would have put up, or think about the numbers he would have put up without his injuries. So, I'm putting Larry Walker in, and it'll be a good day when he gets in. Number 7, this is a no-brainer. Mariano Rivera. This is his rookie card. I believe 91 Bowman. All-time saves leader, 652 saves. And there's not much else you need to say about him, but I'm going to add this aspect. The guy had special permission from the Robinson family to wear number 42, even after they retired Jackie Robinson's number. That speaks to what kind of person Mariano Rivera was. He represented the game and himself so well on and off the field. I hate the Yankees, literally loathe them, and he's one of my favorite players of all time from just a pure non-Cleveland perspective. The guy's a phenomenal person, phenomenal pitcher, and to me, that number 42 aspect, being the last person to wear that number, that should alone get him into the Hall of Fame, let alone his achievements on the field. So there's Mariano Rivera. Number 8, I have Roy Halladay. This is his Bowman rookie. I believe 97 Bowman. 2-time Cy Young winner. 2-time runner-up to being a Cy Young winner. And he had 203 wins. I think the 300 win threshold is changing. And he was one of the most dominant pitchers of his time. Between the Blue Jays, Phillies. I think those were the 2 teams he played for. I don't remember if he played for a third, but regardless, one of the best pitchers. Rest in peace, by the way. I mean, he is such an unfortunate death. What was it, last year or the year before? But I'm putting him in. I'm not putting him in this year, but he's on my ballot to go in at some point. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Manny Ramirez. Manny's Manny. There's not much to say about him. You know, there's a lot to say about him. I shouldn't say that. It's hard to put him into words, except for Manny is Manny. Off the field and on the field, his antics were crazy. But throughout the 90s, with the Indians, he was one of the best players. I mean, he hit for average. He hit for power. What average fielder, but guy was one of the most feared hitters in baseball. Gets to the Red Sox and continues his dominance. Helping lead them to the 2004 curse-breaking World Series, unfortunately. And I don't know. I mean, he has some great numbers, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. Again, when you look at Hall of Famers, I look at them as, what did you do? How are you compared to your colleagues of your era? And he's one of the best, if not the best, for a while. So Manny Ramirez is in for me. But those are my 9. Great contest. Thank you very much, Blu Ink, for doing it. Hope my list is worthy. But again, thank you very much, and talk to you guys here soon.